Now on CoastTV News.
Going to the doctor could soon be easier in one Sussex County town where BB Healthcare is getting ready to build a new facility. Minimum wage is going up in Delaware. What employers and employees think about it. Sniffles, sneezes, and a spike in the flu. Why fewer flu shots might be to blame. And holiday spending soared this year despite fewer shopping days. Why experts say it's a double-edged sword.
We have some very breezy conditions expected along the coast. We'll talk about that and a warm-up that's on the way.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
A big project looking to make healthcare more accessible. Good Friday evening to you. I'm Christina DeRobertis. Welcome to CoastTV News at 11. We begin tonight in Millsboro, and that's where BB Healthcare is planning to build its next facility. CoastTV reporter Brandon Ferguson shows us the next steps for the company and what it means for people in town.
For people who live in Millsboro, it's about to be a lot easier to get to the hospital.
We wanted to make sure that the people who are in this area, and it's the fastest growing area around, had health care access.
This property off of Route 113 is right next to the Millsboro bypass, and that's where the new BB facility will go. President and CEO of BB Healthcare, David Tam, says once DelDOT completes a large part of this project, BB would be primed to build.
And so for us, for the last several years, it's been a must in terms of moving forward.
BB says the average national ambulance ride is 17 minutes, and by putting this facility in Millsboro, it will reach an increased amount of people. Mary Markine lives in a neighborhood right off the site of the future building.
Really excited. We moved here in May from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, so we got all of our health care at Lehigh Valley, and we've still been going back and forth. So we're looking for a place to establish here.
BB Healthcare first applied and received authorization for this site from the Health Resources Board in 2022, and now it's one step closer to reality.
In the plans presented today by BB Healthcare, they said 30.2 acres of this property behind me would be medical facilities. In Millsboro, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Staying in Millsboro for a moment, the town now has a new committee. It's called the Downtown Millsboro Committee, and the goal of the group is to beautify and make the downtown space better. But one business owner CoastTV spoke with said the committee should be looking at other things.
Crossing from this side of 24 all the way across Main Street is virtually impossible. There's no crosswalk that I can get to from my building to get to the other side of the street without crossing a street to get to the sidewalk.
Some good news for minimum wage workers in Delaware. Starting in the new year, the rate will be increased by $1.75. CoastTV News reporter Brendan Conroy explains how this has gotten some mixed reactions due to the fact that obviously workers want more money, but it makes it harder for store owners to hire part-time or younger people.
A little more cash in each paycheck and in your pocket. That will be the case for minimum wage workers in Delaware starting in 2025 as the rate is increasing by $1.75.
You can't expect everything else to cost more and not pay the people on the front line more.
The current rate in Delaware is $13.25 per hour. At the start of the new year, the new wage will be $15 per hour. Liz Libertor lives in Milton and says it has to be done.
I think we don't have a choice because those people need to make a living. They need to be, and the more people that can make a living without being on public subsidies, the better off we are.
Jay McConnell with the Mercantile at Milton, on the other hand, doesn't think it will make a real difference.
I don't think it'll help them that much considering everything else is going up along the way.
Whether it was a store worker, a store owner, or just someone who's experienced making minimum wage in their life, they all seem to agree that it's not about making a comfortable wage, but rather just a livable one.
Delaware ranks 31st on multiple cost of living reports, which means this new increase in the minimum wage is a big increase in purchasing power for low-wage workers.
Brendan Conroy reporting there, and this story brings us to our CoastTV poll. We want to know who you think benefits the most from an increase in minimum wage. Let's take a look at the updated results, and not a big change from earlier. 5% saying families with kids, 72% say entry-level workers, 18% say part-time workers, and just 5% say full-time workers. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do that. It's not too late. Just go over to coasttvnews.com or use our mobile app. We're taking a live look outside now into Ocean City, and we're going to turn it to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams for a first check on the weather.
We're staying very cloudy right now. We take a look courtesy of our Irish Eyes camera. Cloud cover's continuing to stack up for us. And, today was actually close to a normal kind of day. 49 for the high, 47 is the norm. 29 for the low, 31 is the norm. So we're only a couple of degrees away from both of those numbers. Now, what has changed a bit for us, we have this rain that's approaching us from the west and a pocket of cold air up towards New York in this area, which is where we have the rumor, a possibility of dealing with some frozen precipitation. Not really for us. We're just a little bit too far to the south, and high pressure is keeping it out of the way. But we do have some active winds right now, just to kind of catch you up. We have wind, small craft advisories issued from Salado Beach down to Broadkill, and from Lewis all the way down towards Fenwick Island, 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We'll have more on your forecast and why we're going to warm up and become rainy coming up.
Well, it's almost 2025, and as we look back on 2024, there's no doubt one of the biggest stories this year was the political season on the coast. And in Delaware, you can't think about any election without thinking about Return Day. Coast TV has spent the last 2 months digging into the history of the famous tradition where people return to the county seat to hear the returns of the election read out loud, just like they did back in the 1800s. A hatchet is buried and opponents come together to mark the end of the political season.
All of the United States needs to follow those practices of bipartisanship, loving your community, reaching out that hand to support one another. And I think the healing process needs to be done everywhere.
And you can learn all about this wonderful history. There are even some international elements on Monday at 6 p.m. The history of Return Day. Again, that's Monday at 6 p.m. only here on Coast TV News. It's the most wonderful time of the year for retailers. Despite a shortened time between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year, retail sales grew this holiday season. Lee Waldman breaks down where consumers were spending the most money and what it could mean for the economy as a whole.
This year, retailers were racing the clock to motivate shoppers to buy early and in bulk because there were 5 fewer days than last year between Thanksgiving and Christmas. They landed on Santa's nice list.
I got to just say, hats off to the American consumer. We think that that there's going to be a stop to the spending, but that there never is.
Total U.S. spending grew by 3.8% this year compared to last, according to preliminary data from MasterCard Spending Pulse. It's no surprise that shoppers took advantage of online deals they found, clicking their way to 6.7% of year-over-year e-commerce growth, the same data showed.
To me, what these numbers say is that consumers are feeling okay about their jobs. They're feeling good about where the economy is going to be in 2025.
But it might not all be good news. Global economic analyst Rana Faruhar believes the kind of consumer spending could be a warning sign for things to come.
We are overdue by historical standards for a recession, and the kind of behavior you're seeing now is often the kind of behavior you see when you're at the top of a market cycle.
While big holiday spending numbers were a great sign for retailers, Faruhar has some advice for consumers as we head into 2025.
I'd be looking at paying down debt, getting lower interest rates, locking them in on anything that I can, because I think in the next few years, you're looking at higher rates.
In New York, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
And we still have more news to get into tonight. Coming up in sports, local basketball teams bringing the heat at the Governor's Challenge in Salisbury. DSN has the highlights. But first, all the cool things to do, not this weekend, but on Tuesday night as we ring in the new year.
Here's a quick look at your Bay forecast. We're looking for somewhat soggy conditions on Saturday in Cambridge. About 3 waves of rain is going to pull through. Same holds true for us in Crisfield. And then it gets interesting as we warm up a little bit more going into next week. Your full forecast coming up.
Ride the wave of Delmarva's vibrant coastal vibes with Coast Life. From hidden gems to sun-kissed trends and captivating local tales. Dive deep and immerse yourself in our coastal rhythm. Catch Coast Life weekdays at 4 on Coast TV.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division, like myself, in flooring to ensure you not only have the best product to fit your needs, but that your selection flows seamlessly with your remodel.
They know the litany and the bandwidth of products within your budget and based upon your design that can fit your needs.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Take the holidays with you wherever you go, but not the same old songs over and over. The Duck has hundreds of holiday tunes. Enjoy 24/7 Christmas music on 107.1 The Duck, your Christmas variety station.
It's almost time to say goodbye 2024 and hello 2025. And let me tell you, Delmarva has some of the most unique New Year's traditions. Starting in Lewis, the Overfalls Foundation is hosting its annual Anchor Drop. A lighted anchor will descend from the ship's mast as the crowd counts down to midnight. Over in Dewey Beach, the Crush Drop honors Delaware's official state drink. You can watch the iconic Orange Crush lower at Oceanside, New Orleans Street. Chincoteague has the Pony Island Horseshoe Drop, featuring a promenade of wild costumes before the horseshoe lights up the final seconds of 2024. Princess Anne is known for the Muskrat Dive, where Marshall Muskrat glides down a zip line in his signature top hat. In Easton, the celebrations include a crab drop, a classic Eastern Shore tradition, or for a more simple celebration, you can head to Ocean City for some fireworks. And for all the details, just head to coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
Here at North Bay Marina, we know that boaters have the most fun.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
It's the Get Holiday Ready sales event with the Ford crew.
Welcome to our full lineup of Ford SUVs. The all-electric Mustang Mach-E, Expedition, and Explorer. And when you have available Ford Blue Cruise enabled, you can take your hands off the wheel when you're on a highway and just cruise.
And the hats are fun.
The hats are fun. It's the final days to save. Get Escape with 1.9 for 60 plus 1750 cash back and Expedition with 2.9 for 72 or 5,000 cash back.
Have fun and enjoy Delmarva's Coast with Petey the Peacock, sharing joy coast-wide. Know where he's going to be next and get his free coloring book at peteythepeacock.com. Sponsored by Tidal Health.
Capture your favorite moments at the CoastTV photo booth. Strike a pose and snap a pic, all for free. View previous pictures and see the next event at coasttv.com under the Features tab. The CoastTV photo booth, sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Visit Gateway Subaru this holiday season during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event through January 2nd. With every Subaru purchased or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to one of these 5 charities, plus an additional $50 when you choose your hometown charity. And Subaru will donate $5 for every routine service performed. At Gateway Subaru, our customers are the heart of what we do, and we're committed to being a positive force in our community. Gateway Subaru, just minutes from the beaches in the heart of Delmarva. Higher standards.
It starts with our oldest family tradition, artisan bread, topped with the finest hand-sliced meats and cheeses. Add in the freshest locally grown produce, but don't forget the In our house, it's not just a hoagie, it's a primo.
We're expecting a warming trend and a bit of a rainy trend that's going to start off this weekend and really come into fruition as we go into next week. Our dry tech camera is indicating for us that, we have a lot of moisture that's stacking up. It's a relatively tranquil situation for us for this evening, and we're going to continue to kind of stay that way. Even with that being the case, listen, temperatures were in the 40s from earlier and staying in the 40s, but we're falling slowly because we have cloud cover that's going to stay a bit thick for us and not allow the temperature to bounce around by too much. So all this pink that we see here, there's a reason for it. There's now a newly issued small craft advisory that's in effect, particularly going into Monday. And it looks like the winds are going to kind of pick up as we go into, let's say, Sunday going into Monday. But we're going to be mindful of very breezy conditions along the coast for us in Sussex. And then it also holds true for us from Ocean City all the way down towards Chincoteague, okay? And when we talk about small craft advisories, just as a quick refresher, we're talking about 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And just, out of the blue, wind gusts is what we're talking about. High pressure is keeping the rain at bay briefly, but it's breaking down as we speak. Our rain chances will escalate to a 50%, 57% to be exact, chance of rain on Saturday. Sunday, not so much. Monday, iffy at best. But then we escalate back to the 50 to near 60% chance of rain by the time we get to Tuesday. And it's really Monday going into Tuesday where those winds are really going to start picking up momentum. Now, as far as the amount of rain that we're talking about, going into Sunday, we're still looking at about a 1/10 of an inch of rain. But from Sunday morning, according to our latest model run, going to, let's say, Sunday night, going into Monday and Tuesday, we start seeing about a 1/3 of an inch of rain that's going to begin to kick in for us. You see, but we're looking at the first wave of rain that's going to hit about 8 o'clock with our latest run. Winds are coming out of the south. That's why the arrows are pointing out of the south for you. And this rain here, this green here, it's not a real dark green, so we're not looking at a heavy amount of rain to fall, but a little bit of a heavier spot for us by 10:30, 11 o'clock with the winds out of the south from Lewis down towards Shelbyville and then Millsboro. And then we have more convincing model that's indicating Milton, Millsboro, Georgetown, and Ellendale by 7 o'clock with scattered showers on Saturday. I'd put my money on Saturday evening for a better chance of rain. Sunday, we're looking at winds coming out of the south, and that'll help to push the temperatures into the 60s. So it's looking pretty good there. Monday, we'll see spotty showers, and we see something flaring up in the morning time over towards Salisbury. Bottom of your screen, you might not be quite able to see it, but we're watching out for that to become a concern for us. And the reason why we have low pressure that's going to begin to drift a little bit closer towards us, this same low that's causing big time problems in the deep south and cause like over 8 tornadoes there. Well, that instability and that unsettledness is going to come on our way, but it's going to lose a lot of its power by the time it reaches us. So with our 3-day beach forecast, we're looking at scattered showers in Chincoteague. Sunday and Monday, temperatures in the 50s for Ocean City and Fenwick Island. A bit soggy on Saturday, then warmer on Sunday and Monday, but still a lot of drizzle in place. Same holds true for us in Lewis. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling Extended Forecast.
And as the cold weather has set in, you've probably heard some coughing and some sneezing lately. Well, the University of Maryland Health System says cold and flu symptoms are rampant this time of year, and they say there has been a significant spike in the flu over past months and respiratory illness as well. Pharmacists say it could be connected to the fact that fewer people are getting flu shots.
But what's interesting and is running concurrent to this is we're just in general seeing a lot of respiratory illness, more so than in some previous seasons.
And what's also interesting is if you've ever heard that the changing temperatures have something to do with getting sick, pharmacists say it's an old wives' tale. They say the reason people get sick in the winter and they associate going out in the cold and getting sick is because of holiday gatherings. So doctors and pharmacists are urging those to get your flu shot and wash your hands and cover your cough. Now we're going to take a look at today's holiday house. On your screen right now is a picture of some decorations submitted by Athena and Alex in Ridgely, and they say it's the Christmas in your heart that puts Christmas in the air. That's very sweet, and we know Christmas is over, but maybe you like to keep your decorations up till the new year, so share them with us. We want to see. You can submit pictures or videos right now at coasttv.com/holidayhouse. Coming up next, we're talking about TikTok. President-elect Donald Trump now asking the Supreme Court to press pause on a potential ban.
Here's a quick look at your Gulf forecast. We're going to stay cloudy most of the day. And I think it's a total washout, but we're going to have partly cloudy skies with 49. And there will be a spot shower coming in waves, but it'll be relatively light rain. So if you're that adventurous, knock yourself out, dude or dudettes.
NBC News Daily. Weekdays at 1 on CoastTV.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
This week at Macy's, get our lowest prices of the season for your home. Make more room for the family with our best-selling Radley Sectional. Update your bedroom with our Headworth Queen Bed. Plus, don't miss great financing through Wednesday at Macy's.
Toyotathon is still on. Now's the perfect time to recharge with a new Toyota.
I'm taking a RAV4 hybrid hiking.
Sounds fun.
Oh.
We're going on a road trip in a Tacoma. Wow.
Nice.
We're taking our pack to see snow in a Sequoia.
Can we keep them?
I think I oversnapped.
Right now, buy a rugged new Tacoma with low 2.99 APR financing or lease an SR5 model Tacoma for just $199 a month.
Toyotathon ends January 6th.
Toyota, let's go places.
All right, guys, we're going to Jason's for the game this week. It's going to be dark, musty, and cramped, but we got this. Bring it in. 1, 2, 3. Man, I totally forgot you got a new show home.
Yeah, we moved in a few months ago. Wait, where'd everyone go?
This snack table is huge.
I can't tell if I'm inside or outside. Oh yeah, that's fresh.
Get a show home, they said. All of your friends will want to come over to the game, they said.
It's that time of year again to get the Honda of your dreams during Happy Honda Days, where you'll find great offers on a sporty new Civic, spirited Accord, fun to drive HRV, and versatile CRV. So don't wait, turn your holiday dreams into reality with a new Honda named KBB.com's best value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Ready to have some fun? Yeah! Somebody's having a night tonight.
I love this wheel. Monday at 7 on Coast TV. The wait is over.
We brought the best of the best back.
The Jeopardy Second Chance competition begins.
Anything can happen, and on Jeopardy often does.
Monday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
President-elect Donald Trump is asking the Supreme Court to pause an upcoming ban on TikTok in the U.S. It's scheduled to go into effect January 19th unless the platform is sold to a U.S. company. Now, in his first administration, Trump unsuccessfully tried to ban TikTok in the U.S. by executive order as a part of his anti-China agenda. Congress approved the ban in April, citing security issues, but Friday, in a legal filing, he asked justices to pause the ban so that his administration can have time to find a middle ground and keep the app running. The move comes after Trump met with the TikTok CEO earlier this month. The court was flooded with opinions on the matter Friday, all addressing key issues of free speech and security. Seaford is going to see some state money sent its way for revitalization. $3 million has been earmarked to redevelop Seaford's former power plant site along the Nanticoke River. The money going to be used for environmental cleanup under DENREC's Brownfield program. The proposal would create a riverwalk area containing luxury rental stores, restaurants, and office space. Earlier this month, Governor Carney said, quote, "I am proud to invest more resources in Seaford's rejuvenation." Well, insurance companies are increasingly rejecting cancer treatments and screenings for some patients. NBC's Stephanie Gosk profiles two patients' cases and reports on reactions from the insurance companies involved.
Kay Sue has been battling cancer for nearly a decade. One of the hardest moments was in 2018. The cancer returned, stage 4, metastatic.
Did it feel like a death sentence in that moment?
Absolutely. And it still does. It's almost like being on death row and just waiting. All of my off-label drugs.
Remarkably, she was able to battle the cancer back, but her oncologist said it could return again, and PET scans were key to detecting it.
How often do you have to get the PET scans?
It should be 4 to 5 months.
A schedule she followed until her private health insurance changed to Cigna. And she says the company wouldn't pay for the screening.
They thought it was not medically necessary.
Does your oncologist think it's medically necessary?
Yes.
So does Dr. Ashley Sumrall from the American Society of Clinical Oncology.
PET scans are all part of accepted guidelines. That means that multiple experts agree that a PET scan is appropriate.
But Cigna refused to pay for the scans, which can cost $10,000 to $15,000 each. Sue's doctor appealed and was denied. With the delay in her screening, Sue worried the cancer would return. Angela Pike understands that struggle well. Her husband, Tracy, was diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer in 2023.
He was so sick, he went from a 250-pound man to about 130 pounds.
Tracy's doctors in Louisville ran out of strategies to help him. They said he needed HIPEC surgery, a kind of chemotherapy that a cancer center in Houston agreed to perform.
It was about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, the night before the surgery, where we got a phone call from the surgeon himself that the insurance had actually denied the surgery.
In the denial letter, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois said HIPEC was experimental. But here's what the American Society of Clinical Oncology says.
HIPEC is no longer considered experimental. It has crossed the threshold into widely available treatments.
But not for the Pike family, whose surgeon appealed, only to be denied. At one point, the mother of 3 took to TikTok with her guitar, hoping someone might be able to help them.
Surgery was only $42,000. They put a price tag on my husband's life, and they decided he wasn't worth $42,000.
How desperate did you feel in those moments?
It doesn't get more desperate than opening up your guitar case and standing in front of a hospital in 100-degree weather in Houston.
He never got the treatment. Instead, his cancer spread. And roughly a year after his diagnosis, Tracy Pike died at the age of 46.
Are you left wondering what would have happened if he had gotten that procedure?
There are definitely a lot of days where I've thought about that.
In a 2022 survey, clinical oncology professionals were asked about the effect health insurance authorization had on patient care. 87% said they resulted in denials of therapy. 80% said they resulted in disease progression. 36% said they resulted in patient death. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, Pike's insurance company, declined to comment on her husband's case, adding, "We are committed to increasing access to safe, appropriate, and effective health care based on the best available information and research." Sue's insurer, Cigna, tells NBC News, "We strive to do our best to ensure that each person gets the appropriate care as quickly and easily as possible. We fell short for Miss Sue." Cigna contacted Sue after NBC News reached out to the company for comment on our story. Sue did ultimately get that PET scan this fall, she says, but only after her employer paid for it out of pocket.
Your health is in the hands of an insurance company. Do you feel like they care about your well-being?
No, I don't think so. As a result of me fighting for that PET scan, I found out that I have metastasis to my liver.
The screening that had been delayed confirmed her worst fears. Her cancer has returned. Stephanie Gosk, NBC News, New York.
In sports news tonight, it's day 2 of the Governor's Challenge, showcasing local high school basketball talent. And the Delmarva Sports Network's Michelle Roberts takes us to the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center.
Tonight, a rematch of a one-point thriller from this tournament last year, where Stephen Decatur took down Dover by 1 point. This time around, both teams looking to remain undefeated. With 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Dover ahead 50-41, a battle for possession. David Chandler pokes it away, and the fast break ends with Chandler slamming it down, and Decatur trails by 7. About 3 minutes later, Dover up 50-45 now. Off the rebound, Javion Dennis ahead to Chase Little all alone, who lays it in and makes it a 7-point game. Under a minute left, Decatur looking to close the gap. Jonathan Purnell to Noah Tucker, who lets it fly, and it's good for 3. Decatur down by 4. After 2 free throws made by the Senators, Decatur gets another chance, and the Rock ends up with Tucker again, who hits another triple, this time from the corner, and we have a 3-point game with 33 seconds left. But Dover would continue to take advantage of free throw opportunities down the stretch, and with under 10 seconds left, a last chance effort for the Seahawks, but the Senators get their revenge this year and win the Governor's Challenge matchup over Decatur 59-54. David Chandler led the Seahawks with 24 points, and Javion Dennis dropped a game-high 25 for the Senators. And the largest holiday basketball tournament in the country continues tomorrow. Watch all the action at 5 locations only on DSN. Reporting from Salisbury, Maryland for the Delmarva Sports Network, I'm Michelle Roberts.
Coming up this week on Sunday Night Football, right here on Coast TV, the Commanders taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. and stay tuned for your local news coverage after the final score.
Delmarva's Holiday House, sponsored by Beta Beach Builders.
Welcome to First Aid Chevrolet, where we put you, the customer, first.
Since 1976, we've been your local hometown Chevrolet dealer. We'd like to thank all of our loyal customers over these past 48 years.
Get 0% for 60 months on this new 2024 Chevy Blazer EV.
Save over $17,000 on this 2024 Chevrolet Silverado.
Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas from our family to yours. Together, let's drive.
At the Delmarva Design Center, appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring come together in one showroom. We have specialists in each division like myself in cabinetry to ensure that you have the best product to fit your needs. And your selection fits seamlessly with every element of your project.
It was very important to find somebody that was knowledgeable in the whole picture, the cabinetry, the appliances, and the countertop. We are delighted with the outcome.
Delmarva Design Center. Great design starts with great inspiration. Selbyville, Delaware.
Have you lost a loved one to suicide? You are not alone. I lost my teenage son to this heartbreaking tragedy.
And I lost my veteran dad, who faced his struggles alone in silence.
We're here as part of the Jesse Clump Memorial Fund's Lost team, providing support to suicide loss survivors.
We understand this complicated grief. We are here to meet, talk, or text whenever you need.
Remember, you are not alone.
Call us at 410-726-3090.
Together we can heal and find hope again.
It's Mission High School 12 this month at Preston Ford. Final month of Preston Ford's Race to the Top 50 is here, and we're pulling out all the stops. Lease a 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for just $396 a month for 36 months with $0 down. You can shop all your best deals online and view our complete inventory at PrestonFord.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot, we're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you. Don't miss Preston Ford's Race to the Top 50, and remember, cars cost less in Preston.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In entertainment news, the Cape May Lewis Ferry going a little Hollywood here. The big boat getting its big break in the new Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown, starring Timothée Chalamet. And here are some behind-the-scenes photos from the making of the movie. It took place back in May. One of the ferry boats, the MV New Jersey, was transformed into the Newport for the movie. The Delaware River and Bay Authority's social media manager says she hopes the film will show people what the ferry is all about.
People who come and experience the ferry for the first time, it's something they've never seen before, never done before. They don't even know that we even take cars sometimes. So it's definitely cool to be able to put it out there and see it come to life, and people all around the world will get to see.
And according to the social media manager, this is the first time the ferry has been featured in a major motion picture.
So overall, we're expecting for it to stay a bit on the soggy side for Saturday, not so much Sunday and Monday, and then rain with even more warm weather going into next week. But our Hershey's exterior camera, it's just highlighted. We're getting a few droplets here and there, but don't start panicking. By the way, our umbrella winner is Ballard Losterer of Milton. Congratulations. You're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. By the way, you can keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away, sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalis, Brockstedt, and Federico. Want to update you on one quick thing. Our small craft advisory has been issued. Where you see the pink, we're watching out for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it's going to be a little breezy for us, particularly Sunday going into Monday. Please be mindful of that. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Happy New Year! This is when we'll have temperatures staying well above the norm for this time of the year, but it might be a little stormy.
All right, well, thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 11. If you're looking for some more local news, local weather, you can download our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next, and we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great night.